All right, I think we just about have everything set. Okay, let me see here. Get this new toy set up right here. Got that. Okay. Watch my volume. Okay. Cool. Hey, everybody. I see some people there. Just getting started, just kind of having fun. This is more of just an impromptu kind of hang with the new Roland AX-Edge. So just hanging out, gonna just kind of play around a little bit and see how this is going, and see your thoughts, stuff like that. So just kind of hanging out, let you hear some of the sounds, and let me know if the volume is too loud or too soft and stuff. I can hear it all in here, but sometimes it's a different mix from my headphones to what you guys are hearing. So let me bring it up here. And that's the first sound. And I think this one's called is Dissync Lead. And this is something totally cool. Let's go through. Let's look at how this is set up right away. So on the back here, you see you have the volume knob on top, and then on the right here, we have this one, and it's an assignable controller. So you can assign that controller right here, and we have these two buttons right here will actually change the sound. I'll see if you can see this. So I can actually change the sounds up and down just by doing that. So that's cool. If we go a little bit closer into the body from the neck, you see we have an octave. So I can have and there we go at the normal one. And it goes +3 and -3 as far as in the octave. And so that's something that's totally cool. As you can see here, you can see what patch that I'm working on right there. Nice display. And then we have the other display right here. And from this display, you can see what you're working on and do any of the programming you want to do inside the AX-Edge. And so that's something that's cool. If we go further here, we have our different cursors, our increment decrement button. That's pretty cool. And then we have an exit button here, the enter button. So if we're going to select different editing parameters, we can go in here. A shift, and the shift works with other parameters. And here I have a menu and a right button. Those are both very important buttons. And you see right here, we actually have a favorite bank. So we have this axis as our favorite. So all of these, which are our categories, we'll go over these a little bit. I can have 10 banks of 10. So 100 favorite sounds that I can use live. Very easy to program them in there and just have them saved in there. So when you're playing live, you can move sounds quickly. If we look at some of the different categories on this section right here, of course, we have the edge lead. So more newer lead sounds right here. More newer lead sounds, and then we have just other lead sounds. You'll recognize some of these. Oh, that's a okay. A lot of different lead sounds right here already. And if we go here, of course, a lot of basses. A lot of different bass sounds. We can switch some of these. Oh, and I almost forgot on that assignable, I can go ahead and use this knob. And this one's assigned for like a cutoff. Totally cool. So a lot of different basses in here. And this button, we have a bunch of pads. And before I go on, each one of these has, if I remember correctly, 32 patches deep, or 32 programs deep per here. So that's something that's totally cool. So we hear some pads. Adjust a little cutoff. Right in there. Switch some more sounds. Adjust my cutoff or after right here. Totally cool. And let's go now. Polys, you got to have some of the polys in this for sure. A lot of different ones. Maybe drop it in an octave. Cool. Let's go into some of the brass. And there's a whole bunch of brass in here. And Roland's always done a very good job with brass. And so that's something that's real cool. And I found some in here that I'll probably edit. I thought these were a little fun. Let you hear some of these. This one, I was just having good old time with this one. Totally fun. And then more keys. So this is where we can have our electric pianos, our clavs, organs, and stuff like that. Well, actually, yeah, all through here. Nice piano. You know. Little organ. Go ahead and squeeze the modulation. More sounds. Just squeeze the modulation bar. So totally cool. Very, very easy. And let's see. Other sounds, and what I mean other, there's all kinds of sounds in here. So this is makes it cool. World flutes. What'd you say? The volume on the guitar is low. Okay, cool. Let's see, turn that up. There we go. That should be better. Let me see if I can make this so it scrolls. Let me pull this up a little bit so I can actually have it go. Good. So there we go. Trying to make it so it scrolls, so that can be cool. And we're just showing it just a couple of sounds. There's over 320 programs in here, and each program can have up to four different tones in it. And there's over 1,296 tones, internal tones in here. So obviously, we're not going to go through all the sounds. Let's check out some effect sounds. A lot of different kind of cool effects you can use. Maybe use that assignable right here. So a lot of different crazy stuff. And then, of course, it has a vocoder and voice button. That's right. There is a vocoder. I don't have the right cable right now, but it's on the way. So I'll make sure to update that for you guys on the vocoder. Okay. Some other buttons I forgot to mention are on the back of the unit here. There's a unison button right here at the bottom. And there is the hold pedal right here. And then there is a portamento button right there. So 1, 2, and 3 right here. You can easily get to them. And then since I already have it on the back here, you can see the battery port right over here. Okay, it takes 8 AA batteries. 8. Okay, 8 AA batteries. Now, one thing to mention about the batteries, you need to use rechargeable batteries. This particular unit was made for rechargeable batteries. It's a good investment, and then also Roland has a long history of being really environmentally friendly and conscious. So it makes sense that these use rechargeable to keep a stable power source, but then also we're not encouraging you to waste batteries. So buy 8 batteries with the charger, you're good to go. If you're gigging a lot, buy 8 and then buy another 8 so that way you can go ahead and always keep a fresh set in here. So that's something that's cool. Now this does also come with the strap, That's cool. What I haven't put on here yet is some strap locks. There's a lot of different strap locks you can use, and that's good in here. So you definitely put some strap locks on here. If we look at the back part of it, see if I can show this for you. Let's see, what is this right here? Well, I think we have our USB, so we can go USB right into the computer. So we can use this as a controller with the computer, but then also we can use it for a USB thumb drive as well. So that's totally cool. Look at this little icon. It's hard to see, but I'll have other videos up shortly on YouTube. Roland Product Support. We'll go through each one of these slowly on the YouTube Product Support, Roland Product Support. This does have Bluetooth, and we're going to go through Bluetooth, and I'm going to show you what this is behind me. So that's going to be something that's also cool. Let me see what else is here, because I forget. There is a pedal input, so that way if you want to use this at your desk or use this in a rig and not use it wearing, you don't have to do that. Of course, regular MIDI in and MIDI out. That's something that's cool. Let me turn down the volume. Great. And then also on the back, here's the power. It does come with a power cord. Okay, it does come with a power cord. You don't have to worry about that. And then we have the 1/4-inch mic input for your vocoder. If you want to have your mic and use the vocoder, you can do that. And there is the input gain for that. And then, of course, it has a headphone jack and then right and left outputs. Currently, right now, I'm just running in mono, which is okay for gigs. You can run in mono. And then also Roland Boss just came out with a new wireless that you can use for the AX-Edge, and so that's something that's totally cool. Okay, a lot of people here. Where are you guys from? If you're watching right now, that's always kind of nice to see. I see some people that I kind of recognize. Oh, nice. Someone just said this backdrop is out of this world. That's cool. We can always change that backdrop to whatever you want, you know. But you know, we'll just leave it there. Now let's talk about this. What's this behind me? So I'll show you right here. You can go to the App Store and you have a app you can download, and you can go ahead and access all of the sounds and all the editing parameters for the AX-Edge right in here. So let me get rid of me real quick. Okay, and I don't have it hooked up right now, but I could access all the sounds. You know what? I'll tell you what. Let me see if I can do this right now. It might take a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll show you how to do this in a YouTube video later, but I'm going to go into the menu here, and then I'm going to go into, I think it's, let me see. This unit is still new to me, so I'll probably take a little bit longer than normal. And let's see, go ahead and go into my, I think it's system, and whoops, I was turning it out of tune. Okay. And here's one thing, you know, I didn't go over the sounds that much with you. Here we go. It's in the system. Go to general, go to Bluetooth. I'm going to turn it on right there. Then I'm going to exit, and it has the Bluetooth little logo. You probably won't be able to see it. There, you kind of see it on the very bottom. It's letting you know it's doing Bluetooth. And then let's see if I have it here in the app. Get rid of me. In the app, I'll go into the setup right here. It says Bluetooth devices, and there it is, AX-Edge right there. So here we go, AX-Edge. It's connecting. Yeah, I want a pair. So here we go. It's connected. So that's good. And now I can go to the librarian, top left here. Check this out. And then I can say, okay, AX-Edge, I want you to go ahead and see. Here we go. Might take it a little bit the first time, so bring in the program. Let's see here. Let me see. Here we go. Open AX-Edge, and the current list will be discard. Okay, blah blah. That's fine. Okay, and right now it's reading, so that's pretty cool. Okay, so while this is doing, this might take a little bit because it's actually reading all the different 1,296 tones that are available inside the AX-Edge, and then also it is, oh, it says I had a little mess up. Let me see. It's just going to bring all those in. Oh, I didn't set here just so you guys can see. I didn't tell it where to get some. So I had it with the Bluetooth, but I didn't tell it, hey, choose the input and the output. This is good for you. This is really good for you to see, so that way we can do those things together. Now, as you see, it's bringing in those tones, okay? So that's something that's totally cool in there. We'll let it do that. But here's one thing I want all of you guys and gals to see is that for me, as a keyboard person, it's not even about the sounds that come stock in here. What you're going to see when we use the app, or you can just do it with the unit. You don't even need the app. So some of you guys that don't have the iOS kind of devices, and you have other devices, you can still do everything I want to do here on the app, I can do on the unit. So that's something that's totally cool. And wait till you see that. When the app just came out, I think last night or in the middle of the night, but I got it this morning. And, you know, my first thoughts of the app are like, oh, it's just going to do some simple things. And I got to tell you, I was wrong. This app goes really deep, and kudos to everybody involved in making the app. There's really no need to make a software editor. It's totally cool. What's up, Jaime? So I see some more great people over here. So now it's reading the user tones. And now check that out. User tone list. Now currently there are not any user tone lists, but you can make your own, and I think there might be a way to bring some in the future. Okay, we'll see what happens. I also found out from my other buddy at Roland, Scott Berry, that there's already an update on this to kind of tighten up the operating system, so that's something that's cool. So already some more advancements on this. And now it's reading the program list, and the programs, like I said, there's 320 programs in here, and you know you can change them to whatever you want. So we're almost done. It's reading all this information. It'll do this the first time, and it takes it a little bit, but once it's kind of hooked up, it knows what's going on, and that's something that's cool. And I've used it already on the iPhone. I'm just using it on my broken iPad that I dropped in Boston, and it didn't fare well. So, but it's still totally working. Now, one thing to know is when I'm using the app, I cannot edit with the keyboard. The editing is turned off within the keyboard. It's solely with the app. That could change with an update, but I think it's really cool. You can do everything from here. So that way there's no cables hooked up. I can just have this plugged in with my headphones or whatever, and then I can be doing my changes. As we're going to do a couple right now, just kind of fun. While this is loading up, does anybody have any questions? You know, it's really cool. Everybody hanging out a little bit. That's cool, Nick. Anybody have any questions for me on the AX-Edge? This was just announced yesterday. We're all very excited about it. One little bit of history on the Roland keytars, or shoulder synthesizers, as our founder liked to call them, is that we've always had a long history with these. And like I've told people, they were asking for when we're going to do another one, is these come and they last for a couple of years. You know, they're out on the market for a couple of years, and then they go to sleep. Well, it's time for this one to wake up, and so now you have the AX-Edge. It comes in white, and it comes with 2 blades, and it comes in black and 2 blades. And the blade is the red part right here. So the red part right there, and it also comes with a silver one. And I believe the white ones also come with 2 colors in there. And the keys are completely black, totally cool. Okay, Hoffman had a good question. Could you hook it up to a Boss guitar pedal boards? And I'm going to say, yes, you could. You totally could. So if you wanted to hook it up with the Boss guitar pedal boards, let's see, yep, pedal boards, and use those effects that way, that's totally cool. And that's another thing that that the keytars historically have been used for bass players a lot also. You know, keyboard guys trying to just upset the guitar player, that's always a plus, but bass players, in my opinion, have used these for years, so that way they can have a little bit more variety in what kind of bass they're using, what kind of sounds, especially doing synth bass or electronica or some old school funk. So that's something that's really cool in here. Okay, great. I think it is ready, and let's go to Librarian right here. Let's see here, did I mess it up? Let's see here. We're getting it going. That's kind of a neat thing. Oh, let's see. Do I press read? See, we're all learning together. See, because I'll have this when we do the how-to videos on YouTube. There we go. When I do the videos on YouTube, everything's all edited. So by doing this live, you get to see all the little fun stuff. So right now it says it's reading, and I can't tell. Yeah, it says it's reading. I think there, getting it going. Okay, let me answer some questions. Yeah, there we go. It's starting to read. So some other questions, are there guitar sounds in here? And yes, there are plenty of guitar sounds in here. And what I'll show you, we'll pick a guitar sound in a little bit. you can take a guitar sound and you can choose not only what type of effect it's using, you could choose what kind of cabinet it's playing through. So what kind of amp head and what kind of cabinet it's playing through. So you can get the best sound possible out of here. Obviously, it's not. I'm not going to upset the guitar guys. It's not going to beat a real guitar player, but it's definitely a lot of fun. Okay, to get in there. So that's something that's totally cool in here. So right now we're reading on there. Okay, what's another question? Dana asks the difference between an AX synth engine and this one. Okay, so. Boy, I hope I don't get any bad notifications. That's pretty crazy. Okay, so what are the differences between AX Synth Engine and this one? I'm still learning on this one, but one thing I've already noticed is the AX Synth was kind of Phantom G based, and the Phantom G was more PCM based, and the beginnings of, you were seeing Supernatural, you know, with the vSynth GT, the articulative phrase synthesis, and that morphed into the Supernatural technology. So what you're going to see probably in this one is a little bit more of a mix of some of the PCMs, because there's certain classic Roland PCM sounds that need to be in here, but then there's also a lot of the Supernatural synthesis and acoustic sounds that are in here. So this one, as far as in the sound quality versus the AX Synth, a couple of generations ahead, because we have the Supernatural synth engines in here, and as well as the classic PCM. So you can kind of mix them both in there. Also, on the difference with the AX Synth, you used to have to use a synth editor in the computer to edit anything in here. So if I wanted to create custom sounds or custom layers and splits and velocities and all this other kind of crazy stuff, I needed that software. Well, now the way this one is set up, I only need the unit. I can do all of that editing on top because it's its own unit, but then I can also use it with the app as well. So I get a lot more flexibility and functionality through here. Also, that's the Bluetooth is a new thing. The Vocoder is a new thing. I can't wait to explore that in here. Dana asks, closer to Jupiter 80 and Integra 7, and I'll say, yeah, it is. I'm not going to say they're the exact same engine, but yeah, there's definitely a derivative of those in there. So good thing about Roland, say like on the Jupiter 80 with the Supernatural engines, a lot of the stuff from our flagships being the V pianos, a lot of that technology went into RDs, and the vSynth GT and the Jupiter 80, a lot of that technology has gone on in there. So yeah, you're going to definitely, it's newer engine, but it's a newer engine based off of our recent advancements in sound design. So that's something that's totally cool. And then now with using the apps, you can really get in there. And you know, if you go ahead and make sure and watch YouTube Roland product support videos, like I said, I'm going to have videos on that. First, we're going to start off with some of the basic videos, even stuff like how to put the batteries in there, because you'd be surprised when you get that question. Use how to put rechargeable batteries in here, how to hook it up to the system, how to access sounds, how to create favorites. But as we go on, like we've done this with the RD2000 and with the FA, we'll start off with the basic how-to videos, but then we're going to get into the more advanced sound design stuff. So maybe a video will be how to use the app, and it'll be how to make a basic program of your own. Then we'll learn how to do a basic layer, so that's 2 or more tones on there. Hi, Tuan. And then maybe we'll show how to do a split, because you can actually do a split within the keyboard. So that's something that's totally cool, and that's 2 or more sounds split in the key bed. So that's cool. And then also we can do the velocity switching. So maybe I have one sound when I press the keyboard, play it lightly, it's like a nice, just this general sound, but then if we hit it hard, a whole other sound comes out. And I know a lot of my church musicians like that. They can do some kind of like spirituals and be real pretty, but then for the accents, they just really hit in on the accents, and that can bring out another punchy sound right in there. So that's something that's totally cool. What other questions do you have for me on the AX-Edge? Like I said, this just came out, or actually was just announced. Should start shipping this month. Just came out, just announced yesterday. We just released the app, I think, sometime last night, and so the app is available, and you can download the app for your iOS devices, so you can kind of see what's available as far as the editing parameters in there. But then also, once you get the unit, you can really go in there. So, you know, so while we're watching and we're waiting, you see it's taking a while the first time. The first time taking a while because it's bringing in all that information. But once we have that information, we can really go in there and do some stuff. Let me see what I got here. See if I can. Good, I can still switch sounds. So while we're listening, while we're waiting for the app to catch up with us, let's go ahead and listen to some of the sounds. And let me see if I can find that guitar one in here. Oh yeah, definitely, Cody. You got to check this out. This is a big fun thing. You know, one thing I have noticed from already going through all the sounds, and I've already gone through the almost 1,300 tones in here, which took me a couple of days because you got to listen to each tone because each tone or program, depending on how you strike the instrument, how you play the instrument, it'll bring out different nuances, and then that's something that's really cool with the sound engines. It's in here. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's try some other sounds. And we can use that. A little more crazy synthy sound with a little bit of a. Trying to find that guitar. I guess I can look real quick. Let me see if I can find that real fast for you. Oh, here's a nice one. Nice one, the AX Sol lead. Oh, wrong key. Have kind of fun with that. That's cool. Let's see. Let me find that. Oh, here's a classic one. It's AX, what's called Windy Lead, you know. And for you, everybody that's just got on, I'm using the AX-Edge. We just announced it. I just got one. And when you hear some of the swells and some of the bends, that's all done right through here, okay? So there's a little notch right in the middle so you kind of know your position. And you can adjust that pitch bend right there. And then if I squeeze on the mod bar, just don't have to squeeze it hard, just give it a little squeeze. You can adjust. Okay, so, and I'm still looking for that guitar. I forgot where it is. It's probably in the front. You know, when you're looking for a sound, that's one thing about keys. There's so many sounds, so many fun sounds. And the great thing is you can also, once you get into the editing of this, you can organize the sounds in any way you want, or you can go ahead and use the favorites. Oh, here we go. Here's some. Let's see if we got. Check this out. If I hold out the tone, it'll go ahead and feedback. So we can go. All right, so that's cool. That's not too shabby at all. It's really kind of fun. What does Matt Brindle say? You look really cool with that in your hands, but I look like a dork holding a guitar. That's really funny. You know, when you play the guitar, you got to go in there and you got to own it. Okay, you got to own it. You got to really do the stuff. Watch some really killer guitar players like my friend Robert Marcello. He has all the moves down. So you watch what the moves that they do and you steal them, okay? And then you make them their own and then you make them mad. So that's something that's good. Let's check out some more sounds and let me see. You know what? Let's go to the next sound. So that's the guitar. And don't forget, like I said earlier, we can go into that sound and we can change the amp head that it's going to. We can change the type of distortion. We can also change the cabinet in here. So that makes it a lot of fun. Oh, here's another one. Oh, check that out, how it hangs. Now I'm going to use the knob here. Totally fun, totally fun. Here's some more distorted fingers. Oh, this one is distorted TB lead. And one thing I didn't mention on here is there is an arpeggio. I didn't even go through everything. I get so excited from playing. There's a song player in here. There's an arpeggio. So I'll turn the arpeggio on and we can. Maybe we have it hold and we go ahead and use the aftertouch. And the cool thing is if we wanted to, we can go in there, we can change the type of arpeggio it is. And there is a lock button. I'll show you this right here. There is a lock button right here. And if I press and hold it and let it kick on, now what that does is that locks all these buttons. Okay. Yeah. Scott does need this, Chris Brule. He does need this. And we'll put the lock button so when he's doing crazy stuff, you don't accidentally press anything. And to take off that lock button, just press and hold it again. It'll disengage. And now you can go ahead and change sounds in there. So that's something that's totally cool. Let's check out some more tunes. We're almost there. It's 58%, as you can see right behind me. So that's something that's cool. More crazy sounds. Let's go ahead and check out some basses. I really kind of favor basses. Here we go. Unison attack bass. Let's go ahead and use that controller. Cool. Let's check out another one. Oh, this is one of my favorites, you know. Okay, that's totally fun. You can totally do that. Oh, there's West. Hey, West, what's up, dude? You need one of these for your gig, bro. All right, let's see what Dana. Hey, Dana just asked, does the vocoder have any vocal designer characteristics like the VP550 or the VP770? Dana, I want to say yes, but until I test it, I'm going to have to tentatively kind of wait, okay? So I want to say it does, but I want to test it first, okay? Before we really put it out there, you got to take the instrument and take it for a spin and kind of see what happens on there, because there's things in the spec and the paper. It's different when you really give it for a ride. Another thing that I want to check out, Dana, and this is also for Wes, is I think if I was looking at the structure of the keytar right, I think you can go ahead and have up to 4 tones layered per program. And if one of those tones can be the vocoder, that means you can maybe layer the vocoder with maybe a bass sound or maybe a string. If we have that choir thing going in here, that could be cool. And another thing I'll show you since we get ready is that you can use whatever carrier you want for the vocoder. I don't know exactly what that means. That means the tone that the vocoder will make, but it looked like you can assign any tone inside the AX to the vocoder, and we're going to see how that sounds in the future, and that might come up with some really cool things. So I'm really excited to see what all of you guys and gals, all you players out there do with this. This is a lot of fun. All right, let's check out some more sounds. Oh, let's see. Tony Escueta, my brother from another mother. I love you, man. Let's see, Brandon McQuarter, he says, I bet the synth engine and vocoder is based on the JDXA. I bet you're probably right in some way. Like we said earlier, but you weren't listening. No, I'm just joking. What we said earlier is that it's probably based on a lot of the Supernatural stuff. And so Supernatural kind of came out of V-Synth GT at first when it was known as articulative phrase synthesis. And then it moved over into the Jupiter 80 and was renamed Supernatural. From the Jupiter 80, a lot of, not necessarily the sounds, but the engines or the sound design kind of made its way into the JDXA, JDXI, stuff like that. So that's probably it. So, yeah, let's make it happen, Wes. All right, cool. Sean Kelly, Bud Does It Rock. Sean Kelly's a guitar guy, and Sean Kelly does rock, and it sounds like a guitar guy, but it actually stays in tune. So that's a little back to you. So anyway, so let's check out some more kind of stuff. Shout out to Josue Gonzalez, man, keeping us safe. You guys have no idea. He's the man. So let's check out some more bass sounds for fun. Let's use this knob right here. Hey, Randy, be safe there, man. Make sure you don't get in that hurricane. No plane, all right? Be safe and keep that dog safe. Let's see here. Here's some other good sounds. Oh, I think this is the sound they can use in like the danger zone. I think that's the danger zone bass. I know you guys will figure it out. It has some fun stuff. You know what? I got to show this to Sean Kelly. I got to go back to the guitar for a minute, just to kind of upset him. Let's see, where is that guitar? Hey, Sean Kelly, this is for you. Check this out. That's for you, Sean Kelly. All right, let's see. Go back to some more of the bass. Let's see. Fabio, how's things in Brazil? Hope you're doing good. This synth has the V-Synth core. Actually, it's really kind of neat. On all of our top synths, there is always a little bit of DNA from those synths in here. So, yes, I'm not going to say this has a total V-Synth because the V-Synth was its own monster. It's kind of a crazy thing. That's why I kept my V-Synth GT, and I love it. We'll never leave it. Okay, but a lot of good programming stuff. You're going to see here. We're almost done with almost done getting it ready. Yeah, Dana, guitar players suffer from pianist envy, said no one ever. Okay, yeah, the guitar guys, they have their own little poses, all their little hairstyles, all the little colors of their little guitars and stuff like that. And then we always look like we're playing behind a kiosk. Well, not anymore. You can stand up and act a fool just like they do. So that makes it kind of fun. So let's see here. Go some more sounds. So a lot of good bass sounds. And you know, you could, if you want to have even more bass, of course you can drop it an octave. And then shape it if you want to. So that's cool. We'll do another kind of bass in here. See what else we found. And let's try this sound with an arpeggio. I'll turn on the arpeggio button right there. And so let's have some fun with that. See what happens. I'll drop it down an octave so I can reach a little easier. So totally fun. Take that arpeggio off. Let's check out some of the pad sounds. A lot of great stuff. pads in here, and we're going to show in the future. We'll show how to layer, like make an electric piano with pads and maybe some really nice sounds that you can use to back up vocalists and stuff like that. So really nice pads. Oh, we got to do. Let's drop it. Let's drop this an octave, and let's go over here. You know what that's? Oh, Ryan, I wish I could show you the vocoder, but I'm waiting on the cable. I have the headset, but I don't have the cable. You're gonna have to check YouTube Roland Product Support. I'm gonna do a video specifically on the vocoder. Sorry about that. I have every other cable, but I don't have that cable. But I will be showing that in the future. Go to YouTube. Give me like a week or so, because I'm starting to do the produce the videos, and there's going to be a video specifically on vocoder, and there's probably going to be another video on advanced vocoder, provided I can get it to do the stuff I want to do. All right, so check this out. Hey Dana, did you know that synth song I was playing just now? Did you recognize it? Yeah, totally love that. All right, cool. So let's take a look at what's going on here. So let me get rid of, what is that? Word, haha, no sweat. Thank you, Ryan. All right, so you see we have all the different programs in here. And the good thing is when we're programming anything, like I can click on this on the 2-2 lead, press preview, and it's loading it up into the keyboard. It's accessing it from the keyboard and switching it for me. So just switching stuff for me right there. Let's try another one, the Hoover lead. So just preview. That's cool, loaded up. You know, that Hoover stuff, I just never know how to use it. You know, I'm just, so you have any suggestions on a demo to show the Hoover or a good song that uses it, let me know. I'm always looking for different ways. We have more of everything in the programs. Let's see this AX Juicy lead right here. Gotta press preview. Loads it into the keyboard. And remember, this is all via Bluetooth, so no wires right now. This little whistle lead. I always like this one, and it's almost Halloween season, so this one always. Okay, you should get this just for Halloween for the AX-Edge. Get this so you can scare the kids. You know, go ahead and use it, and use the. Of course, Brandon nailed it. Okay. Yeah, get the keytar just for that. We have a lot of other stuff. Let's see, this mod thumping bass. I probably already played it because I love all the bass stuff. So get this. Okay, so as you can see, there's a lot of sounds in here. Okay, nice finger bass, and get this going. Brandon needs an orange blade. I know, right? Duh. The Roland Orange, we can make that happen. We could totally make that happen easy. We'll just go and get it hydro dipped. Very easy. There's a nice, I think I have it dropped an octave. You hear that? You actually hear the strings. Kind of cool. And okay, so I tell you what, now let's take a look at the app right here. Okay, I'm going to disappear. Whew. All right, great. So let's go ahead and take a sound right here. Let's use this AX strings, and I'll go ahead and use that. Can you show a 404 bass? Remind me, Fabio, I'm doing something else, but you know what? Let's see if I can find a 404 bass. Let me go back to the bass section since you're calling from Brazil. I don't know if I have a 404 bass. Let's see. Maybe. How about this one? How about this one, Fabio? Okay. Oh, that's not okay. You want to slap in the bass. Where did that one go? Did I miss it? Oh, how about this one? The AX Alpha bass. I'm probably guessing that's from an Alpha Juno. Okay, so little alpha bass action. Okay, so let's use this alpha bass. Let's use this alpha bass right now, and we're going to go in here and start editing. Check this out. So I have this, and I'm going to hit the editor at the top here. Okay, and I'm getting that one. Let's see. Thanks, Brandon. Let me hold. Okay, so here we go. We're in this bass, and we're going to start kind of adjusting it. We can adjust the overall level right there if we wanted to. The tempo, if we want to have a tempo locked in there, if we are using like an arpeggio, we can have that going in here as well. In the sound, we can have the switch, and so you see right here, this particular sound, there's only one thing going on. Check this out. So we only have one part selected, okay, and that's that bass. But check this out. If I turn on part number 2, now that's on. I just added another sound right on there. Totally cool. Let's go ahead and turn off number 1 and turn off number 2. Turn on number 3. What do we have? And I'm going to turn back on number 1. Check this out. So we have part number 1 and part number 4. So check that out. Of the 4 parts, we just turned on 2, part number 1 and number 4. Good question. Dana just asked, Apple tablet or Android? Just curious. I think at this time it might be iOS only, but I could be wrong. You know, I use Apple products pretty much exclusively, but we can check in the future, see what else is going on. So, all right, check this out. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and start digging into this sound a little bit. All right, so let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the part here. And now that I'm in this part, I can choose what's going on with the part. So I can say, you know what, let's go into where I have that on part number 3, and it looks like it's on a classic lead. Okay, that's what's going on. It has the classic lead sound. Let me skid over a little bit so you guys can see. Classic lead right there. And if I click on where it says list, now I can choose anyone that I want right here for that sound, for that part number 3. So I might come into here and let's take a simple square. Great. And I'll go ahead and now it's in there. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the switch. I'm going to turn off part 1, go back to part. And so now all I hear is that. And if I want to right now it's on mono, but I can choose where I want to put it, mono or poly or whatever the tone, but that tone's set for mono. I can also say, you know what, let's go ahead and adjust. Oops, get out of there. I can adjust the Portamento switches in here, so we can have more Portamento or less Portamento. So I have a ridiculous amount there. Let's bring it down a little bit. Bring it down a little bit more. So right there, we just adjusted the glide or the Portamento right there. And what if I wanted to do pitch? I can go ahead and drop this down or up an octave, plus or minus 3. Let's go ahead and take it up. So, and that Portamento is a little much. So let's go ahead and bring that down a little bit. Yeah, it sounds good right there. Okay, and then let's bring that octave shift back down a little bit to +1. And then now we'll go back to that part switch number 1, turn it back on, and let's see what we got. We just added that synth. Both of those synths, we have one that's down an octave and the other one that's up 2 octaves. So pretty cool. And that's all from the app, and we could have done all from the keyboard. But if we look further, and I could choose up to 4 parts, I just chose 2. We can go ahead and adjust master effects right in here. We can do some EQing per part. Okay, per part. That's totally cool right in here. I love this. We can adjust the key range. So if I wanted to have maybe that bass down in bass section and I wanted to have that lead in the upper section, I could do that. Or if I wanted to have the velocity range, let's go ahead and play with the velocity. I'm going to have the velocity lower. I'm going to have it so that way I have to really strike the keyboard to bring out that lead. Okay, so let's see if this works. Okay, so I haven't done this yet on this keyboard, so we're just kind of having fun. So right now, all you're hearing is the bass. But if I hit it, if I strike the keyboard, and let's adjust that range a little bit more. There we go, maybe to 100, 110. So I have the velocity switching, the velocity range switching right there. So that's something that's totally cool right there. And I'll go ahead and have it match. Now the other one, good. Now you hear them both. And let's go one more further. You can see I could go ahead and have my independent effects right here going, and look at all these effects that I have right in here, okay? And this is really cool because Roland, Ball, same people, right? We're known for effects, and there's a lot of different effects in here. So if we wanted to in here, I can go ahead, let's put, for some fun, let's put a 4 tap. So now we can have even more kind of, and that's a bit crazy, that time. So let's go ahead and adjust that. So I can say, you know what, let's have that time a little bit less. Oops, there we go. Want to have that a little bit quicker time. Oh, there it is. I had that quarter note thing happening there. Let's bring that down a little bit quicker. On there, I hear another one because it's a 4 tap, so 4 different levels. And I'll bring that one. Let's do that. Maybe there you go. 8th note triplet, and that's pretty good. Let's see what we have here now. So that's cool. So that's a little extreme example. I totally get it, but that can be fun. And that was with we using the 4 tap pan delay, so going back and forth. And there's a lot more stuff we can have in here. Let's take a look right now. I was talking about the guitar stuff earlier, and check this out. If I wanted to, I can go into the guitar amp sim, and I think I'll choose, let's see, gonna look at here. I like that one, the guitar amp simulator. I can come into here, have that on right here, and look at the preamp type right there. Look at all these preamp types I could totally use, okay? JC120s, we see the BG lead, MS, you know. So a lot of different ones we can totally use. And then if we go into here, we can choose the preamp gain where you want it, low, middle, high. And then I can also go into here, the speaker type. So you can really adjust when you're trying to work on your guitar tones in the keytar, how you can really go in there. And that is pretty wild. That's pretty wild. So if you're like, let me just say, we're not going to replace the guitar, electric guitar guys. So you put your guns down, all right? But we can go in here and you can, if you're trying to emulate it for a live session or for a lead or for a gig, you can get it in there and then save it. Chorus, look at all these types of chorus we can use. Oh, it's doing system. So I'll do program. And look at, we have all these choruses we can do in here too. So you could choose any one of these. That's totally cool. Source, I'll say program. And look at all these halls. I have some nice halls. we can do in here. Look, it has an Integra from the Integra, because that was a new effect. So that's something that's totally cool. Any questions while I'm going over this? Because we're just kind of having fun. It's almost been an hour into here, so I'll probably be wrapping it up soon, but I just really want you guys and gals to see what's going on. And then check this out. We can go into the controls of the ribbons and the aftertouch and the knobs, and you could really go in there and adjust them. And look, you could adjust them per part in there. So that's something that's totally cool. And look at this. You can have MIDI receive, so you can tell it to receive MIDI from another device if you want to have this in your MIDI chain. That's totally cool. You can have MIDI out. So this is cool, and this is something that I'm going to want to explore in the future and see what this means. Okay, there's where I love to see the MSB, LSB, and program change, so that way I can use this as my master controller for my keyboard rig. And if maybe I'll go ahead and hook this up to main stage. Maybe this can be a way for me to change my main stage patches, my whole rig and main stage. Okay, so I'm not sure if it'll do it through Bluetooth yet, but that's something we're going to explore and see what we can get going. But just seeing that MIDI out and see the master component right here, that master keyboard component is real cool. We got Almessa. Did you already play some of the guitar tones licks? Join late. Okay, cool. I'll play some for you in a second, Al. Let's see. And then look, we have over here what we're going to assign the controls for. So let's go ahead and just take one right here, and let's do the S1 mode, and it's set for Portamento. But check it out. All the different normal MIDI assignments, you can assign them for whatever you want. And remember, this is per program. So these assignments can change according to the program or the sound that you went in there. See, how many buses on the FX? Let me see. Let's see, buses. On this one, I'll probably sound stupid, but it probably just, I don't think this has buses. I think it's normally just the main outs, okay? I don't quite understand your question on that one, Dana, but I'll try. But let's see. And here we go. So here's all the controllers we can do there. Controller source right here, we can do into here. A lot of different ones. Also, once again, whatever you want to program it to. Voice reserve. Now, voice reserve is good. Say you have your main sound on part one, you really want to have that one not cut out when you have other sounds layered for different effects. Well, what you can tell the keyboard to do, and all of our keyboards do this, you can have it so that way if polyphony needs to get robbed from someplace, you can tell it, well, don't rob for this, or always make sure I have this amount of polyphony set. So that's something that's cool. Let's go on and look at the arpeggio section. Arpeggio section is totally cool. Check this out. I can turn it on or off from here. And then what I love, if I go into the motif section right here, I can have up and down, random note order, whatever order I want, and hit it in there. Adjust my octave range, my shuffles, my keyboard velocity, whatever I want, and even the shuffle resolution. So that's cool. Separate effects per zone. I'm not sure, Dana. That's going to be, you know what? I've got to have to explore that. I probably has some, but if we'll go, remind me in a second. We're almost done with this part. Go into the vocoder section. Now this is a cool part too. In the vocoder section, you can see I turn the switch on and off. I have my envelopes of it, how I want it to attack in there, and my mic sensitivity, everything right in here. But what I really thought was pretty interesting is on the carrier tone right here. Right now it's listed on the vocal ensemble, and let's go ahead and hit list. See, it brings it up, and you see it brings up vocal ensemble, which I'm wondering if the vocal ensemble is going to be like where you sing the chord, where you sing it, but it's whatever your hand plays. I'm thinking that's what that is, but until I test it and we check it out, I won't know for sure. But you see some of the carriers in here. We got the vocal subchoir. We have, of course, the vocal ensemble, which I'm excited to see. Of course, the robot, the fifth stack, the VP 330 for some of you guys who like the older vintage synths, vocal subchoir 2, vocal sol, noise. So right there. But then what I think is also neat is you have access to all of the other tones in here. And like I said earlier, if we go through here, we have just under 1,300 tones, so 1,296 tones right in here. And look, there's a user section. So I'm interested to see where we're going to get those user from. If we're going to bring them in through samples or through axial.roland.com or whatever. And then, of course, you see the master effects for the vocoder. And then, look, you even have EQ for the vocoder, how the vocoder sits in the keyboard. This is something that's totally cool, too. So you see a lot of different options in there. So that's something that's totally cool. Let's go back and see, not Brandon. Dana was asking about the effects for sound. So let's go back to the sound section here. And let's go back one more. Here we go. Now, if we go into the parts, right here, we have the 4 parts. Okay. Brandon, help me out with this, Brandon McCorder. You know this stuff too, so this is really cool. I think on here, you might be right. If we go into the output sign right there, you see we hit dry, or I'm assuming that's internal FX. I'm not totally sure what that means right now. I'll have to RTFM read the free manual. Okay, so check that out right there. Looks like we could probably have chorus in and reverbs, all that. Let's go ahead, and I bet you they all, since it's a program, it would probably have to go ahead and be locked into that program. But I bet you we could get around it if we created a tone and save the tone with the specific effects, so that way whenever we pull up that tone, those effects are locked into that tone. You get it, Dana? Brandon, what do you think? So I bet you could probably go in there and edit a tone, lock the effects in there with that tone, save it as a brand new tone, and then bring it into a program. So if you wanted to have a whole different effects, I bet you that's probably the way you would do it. Okay, so let's look over here real quick, and let's see. SysX right here. Of course, you see our choral type, our chorus, and different reverbs, master compression right here, and master EQ. So you can totally get it all set. Does that sound like a good explanation, Dana? Kind of a little bit of a BS on my part, probably. No, but that's probably how I would do it, you know? So that's something that's cool, and all the setup. So as you can see here, that's something that's cool. Now, one more thing I want to show you on this thing that I think is pretty neat. We can go in here and we can open files from a folder, create a new file from the Edge or from Axial or from the cloud. That's pretty cool. If you go to Axial already, there's already all the internal sounds are backed up. Okay, let's see right in here. Okay, cool. And so it's opening this up, and you'll be able to see in just a second that we already have sounds in here. So you see, if we go down, you just said what's new, and if we go to the AX-Edge, we already have all the factory sounds. So once you guys and girls get this, you can go ahead and start editing your sounds and doing whatever you want to do with them. You can either back them up in here or back them up through the cloud or through the app or whatever. But don't be afraid to have fun messing around. So anyway, I just wanted you guys and gals to see that. There's my big studio cat. So any questions for me? You know what? I can't work with the big boy right there. There he is. All right, cool. So. Whoops. Any questions for me on the AX-Edge? Like I said, if you go to YouTube and look up Roland Product Support, YouTube Roland Product Support, you know, that's where we're going to have this. Did I mention I'm giving away one of these, but to everyone except Bosco? No, I'm just playing. That was just a joke. I'm not giving away any of these. Okay. Cloud sounds. Any sound could be useful. Now, Fabio, remember, for me, and probably for you, this shouldn't be about the sounds that are in here stock. You know, you can tweak any of those sounds, but then also from the just under 1,300 waveforms, you can make any sound pretty much that you want, and each program can have up to 4 tones in it. Okay, so you can really get in there. Dana, let's see, what did you say? Again, just curious, have they released the editor in the App Store? Yes, they did. I was having breakfast this morning. I just looked for fun, and there it was. So yes, so look again, look under Roland, or look up under Roland AX-Edge, and you should be able to find it, okay? So I'm going to let you guys and gals go. Make sure you have an awesome week and be safe out there. Have a good gigs, and working on videos for this coming week. We're going to start off with a lot of the basic videos, but then as time goes on, like a lot of you know, I always go in and we're going to get in a lot more deeper into sound design on this one. This is a great beast. I love it. Check with your local dealer and see on availability. And I hope you have a great weekend. All right, this is Ed Diaz signing off. Thank you for spending your Friday night with me. Now go out there and get in some trouble, but not real bad trouble. Nothing that involves a lawyer. All right, take care. We'll talk to you later. See ya.